Hello and welcome. I have a message. Is it for you? Even if it's not, perhaps you may find something you relate to. To start, I've laid out some cards and I've sat with them for a while. I'm going to speak about them, speak about what I see, and see what comes through. We all have an inner child, as I know you are aware. The inner child sits usually pretty deep within us. The child is innocent and hopeful, wide eyed and curious, the way we all entered this world. But as things go in this life, other things come to kind of chip us away a little bit, and we start to turn away and hide and protect ourselves. We all do it, but as we grow up, as we become adults, we need to return to those spaces and uncover those corners that have been folded down in our book and see what's there, see what page is there that we marked at one point and that may be causing us now to stutter a little bit in our lives. When we have an, let's say, imbalanced inner child, that can, of course, manifest in many different ways. But what I'm seeing here is that there's something that's very hidden from our awareness right now within our inner child. And it's manifesting right now in a lot of confusion. We're looking ahead of us and, we're seeing all the different options and we don't know which one's best for us and we don't really even know which one we want. And there's merits to many, and we find ourselves in this place of not making a decision and kind of retreating back to that childlike sense of wanting someone to tell us what to do, tell us where to go, and what we should do and what we shouldn't. But those are decisions we have to make ourselves. That's when we find the greatest satisfaction, perhaps, in our lives, when we are able to make our choices consciously based on our own desires. And it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. That's not the point. The point is that we are the ones that made the choice, and not out of a place of fear or of anxiety or pressure of, oh no, I just, I need to make this decision. And I guess, this one. And then we run ahead blindly with tears in our eyes. No, we do. We need to sit back, take stock, and do our best to find what it is that we want to do in whatever regard you find yourself in. Now, this can be very difficult because oftentimes we've gone through so many years of our life not making a decision that we don't know how to make a decision, and we don't know how to check in with ourselves and figure out what it is that we desire. And this is where some practice needs to come in. At some point, we just have to make a decision. And honestly, the sooner you can make the decision, the sooner you can get into something new. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? You can make a new decision. You can change your mind. We all have that power within us. We all have that discernment within us. We all have the concise nature within us to make a decision strongly and firmly, to cut away the bullshit, and whatever side of the sword we fall on, it isn't so much the matter. It's that we bring the sword down. And this is the kind of energy that will help to alleviate this sense of confusion. Because when we're making our own decisions, we take so much of our power back. We start practicing responsibility for ourselves and within our own life. And that will start a cycle that feeds into itself of more confidence. But I understand that this can be difficult, especially when we are dealing with a lot of self-analysis and self-critique and a lot of low self-worth, which is another thing that I'm seeing here. We may be heavily focused on our emotions in a too serious way, really analyzing and judging ourselves out of fear. And again, this is very understandable in a place that many of us find ourselves in. But this is a cycle that, one, is really weighing us down, and two, it needs to end. And we don't have to take ourselves so seriously. We don't have to take these decisions as the be-all, end-all of our lives or of a course of action. What is being kind of suggested here is to, in a way, stop looking so hard in the mirror at ourselves. Understand that we are a creature becoming, and we are still growing, always will be growing from, the little ugly duckling into the beautiful swan. And to allow that process to unfold and allow ourselves to be where we are with love and compassion for all of who we are. And there's a lot of momentum in our emotions, especially ones that have been repeating or in process within our minds for, a span of time, however long, you've been alive, who knows? But they build up a lot of weight, mostly because in that idea of that we've been, the way water flows, across the earth and creates canyons over the years. We flow a stream of emotion down a certain channel for a long period of time, and suddenly, we can't get up to the top anymore because we're just deep within this stream, and can feel like there's no way out, and it becomes so part of our world, this self-critique and self-judgment, that we feel like that's what we deserve because we feel like that's who we are. But that is just a perspective. It's just an opinion, and it is not who you are, and it is not who you have to be. That can end. You can put that behind, and you can always choose to see yourself in a more balanced way. And this takes practice, this takes time. And through it all, and at the very beginning and at the very end, is compassion, self-compassion. If you can turn that compassion back to that innocent, wide-eyed, curious inner self of who you were when you were a little child, and give yourself the space and the freedom to explore, to recreate, to do without an expectation, without a need for a product, to be and to explore. And through this process, you might find that some of this heavy anxiety or patterns that you found yourself in may pass. And that is what I see being suggested here as well. And, we may, like I said, we seem to be very in our emotions right now, and there seems to be a heavy stream either within our mental thoughts or within our emotional body that we need to channel into something more physical. Now, this can, of course, come about in innumerable ways, but if we can find a way to direct this into something tangible, and what I'm seeing here is kind of two different, um, I guess, avenues. One being taking this heavy, emotional, um, perhaps darker emotions and thoughts, and using it like clay to build something. When we can take things out of our inner world and see them, transfer them, flow them out into the physical in some way through a story, through an art project, sculpture, painting, drawing, scribbling, colors, on a page. When we can really channel out that energy, it alleviates so much of that, the weight behind it. And it can do multiple things for us. One, it can, like I said, it can alleviate, give fresh air to that feeling. It can draw it out of us so that it can just be away. And, maybe you want to, um, you know, light the piece of art on fire. You want to do some air dry mold clay, make a pot, make a little cup, and then smash it to a million pieces. There's a lot of catharsis there. And, if you're taking that from the beginning with an intention of drawing it out, this can help alleviate a lot of it. It can also give you new perspective, especially if it's more of a written word kind of thing, through journaling or story writing. Take that emotional identity that you feel in yourself and create a new character, create someone else outside of you. What is a storyline of, create a new person, and this person is also dealing with these same feelings and thought patterns, but their life is completely different than yours. And see if you can explore, some storyline that this character goes through. And it's fine. It can be dark, it can be tragic. Allow it to be whatever you feel like you want to write. Again, this is with an intent of release, drawing out, catharsis. Allow the feelings, whatever arises, to arise, and allow those to pass. It may at first feel like it creates more of the feeling, and this is okay. This is what we're doing. We're drawing out the poison, and when you're drawing out poison, you have to feel it again. You do, but it's out afterwards. It lessens. And so don't, two things, don't react within that space. Don't let it trigger you and then react from that space, and don't hold on to it. Just allow it to pass, allow it to be. Do your best to accept, the feelings that you're having. Allow them to, yes, pass through you, and allow them to carry on, because that, what you created in that storyline, is not actually yours. And perhaps it will create some new perspective. Now, on the other hand of creation here, if you can create something tap into an area of joy, something fun. Take that swirl of emotion that you have been feeling and create a counterbalance and draw out the fresh waters that are within you. Find something that inspires you, something that gives you joy and excitement, and something that just puts that sparkle in your eye. It doesn't have to be big. It can be small. It can be an ongoing project. It can be a one-off thing. But the idea here is to start something new, something fresh, something that either you haven't done in a really long time, or something that you've never done before at all. And find a way to just bring that new energy into physical presence before you. And this will do a lot to help bring that new energy within you as well. And either avenue, either road that you find yourself drawn to, maybe both, is going to help move things so quickly. And you'll find that that things will start to change. Your thought patterns will start to change. Your emotional states of being won't be the same, this cycling in the same way. Now, of course, things will repeat, things will come up again, but notice how they feel different. And if you can, shift your focus into the gratitude for seeing them go, or the joy of creating something new. And this will create a new momentum. This will create a new river that will start to form new channels within you. And that's part of where we need to go, is maintaining that focus on creating those new channels and being okay with those days that we find ourselves waking up in the old stream. That's very, very understandable, and it will happen. And to not get down on yourself by being there. And of course, there's a lot that I could go into there, but I feel like that is for perhaps another video. But if you would like to have a discussion about some more self-care in finding yourself in old patterns and dealing with that, let me know in the comments, and I will make a video for you. But I hope that this message has resonated with you in some way. This has been a fun little moment for me as well. So thank you for joining me here. Thank you for co-creating this message. And I wish you all the best. Until next time.